Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at a n8n form trigger to essentially allow your business to collect feedback in the form of compliments, complaints, and feature requests. And I wanted to kind of go ahead and show you how you get the Airtable set up specifically. So I've deliberately left these nodes right here incorrect because a lot of people have issues actually setting this up in their n8ns. And I wanted to show this with you step by step so that you can do this as well, because it's saved me a lot of time. And I wish I had someone to show me how to do this step by step. So first off, you're going to go ahead and get this down below in the description. You're going to download it and you're going to pop it into your n8n. Now, once you've got it into your n8n, you're going to get a bunch of complaints here. So you can utilize any model you want. I've just chosen to use a Grok model because they're very, very, very quick. And I'm utilizing a model for Qwen 2.532b, which is this new Chinese model that just came out. It is blazingly fast. It is so quick. So that's why I'm using that right now. The AI agent itself is very, very simple. It just has a few roles here. So it's just basically to determine if the customer feedback is a feature request, compliment, or complaint. And then it goes ahead and it makes that feedback into a simple result here. And then it sends that off to a merge function, then to a switch function, and it will go from either a complaint, feature request, or a compliment. Now, I want to show you how I do the Airtable in here because this is super important, and I don't see enough people on the internet showing people how to actually make this correctly. So what I'm going to do here is just go ahead and make an Airtable. So you go into Airtable and you create a table from scratch. So that's first, you're going to just go into your Airtable. You're going to create a base here and you're going to click it. Once you've created that, delete everything else and only leave 3 things here. So you're going to need your name, your email, and your feedback. Now in table 1, we want to rename this table to compliments. Just go ahead and name that to compliments. Now we're going to have to go ahead here and duplicate this table here. And we're duplicating it because we're creating the exact same thing with the name, email, and feedback. And that'll just save us a lot of time. Now, by the way, the name is a single line text, which means that you just double click it. You can rename it here just by putting whatever you want in there. And then you can click one of these corresponding things. In this case, it's a single line text. Then you click save and it's done. For the email as well, you can just do it any way you want. I've done it with a long text because it might be a longer email. And the same thing for the feedback, which is a long text here. So you just click edit, field, feedback, and then long text. So, and save that. Now for this one here, we're going to rename it to feature request. And then we're going to go ahead and check our n8n here. So for the feature request, what does it need? So it needs the name, email, and the response. So in this case, we'll go to n8n, and instead of feedback, it's the response for the feature request. And it's just in long text. That's all it is. Very, very simple. Now we're going to go ahead and duplicate another field here. And then this will be complaints. So we have a compliment, complaints, and feedback. Now, how do we get it set up here? Everyone has an issue with this because it seems like everyone has an issue actually getting it set up here. So how do you do that? What you do is you go to Airtable right here. So once you've set up the compliments, the complaints, and the feature requests in this format with the name, email, response, name, email, feedback, name, email, feedback. You can delete these 3 things as well so that they're blank. You go back and you click up here and there will be something that says Builder Hub. When you click this, it will bring you to where you have your personal access tokens. You need to create a personal access token so that you can implement that in n8n. So up here, when you're creating a new credential, it will ask you for an access token. Where is that access token found? It's found in the Builder Hub. So you click create a new token. In this case, it'll be feedback token n8n. I'm going to add a scope. It needs to be able to read, it needs to be able to write, and it also needs to be able to read with the schema. So you're adding 3 things here. So data.recordsRead, data.recordsWrite, and schema bases read. So it can read the base, it can write to the base. Okay, now for the access base, which one are we clicking? We're clicking the one that we've just made, which is the n8n feedback. So now you're creating this personal token, naming it feedback token, adding the scopes, and then adding the access. So that's this table, the one that we just made, right? Then we'll go ahead and create this token. From there, we'll grab it, we'll copy it, we'll go back in, we'll say n8n feedback token. And we'll paste that token here. And it says, look, make sure you've enabled the following scopes for your token. Data.recordsRead, data.recordsWrite, schema bases read. And if you look back here, data.recordsRead, data.recordsWrite, schema bases read. So you've done that exactly as n8n needs. So that way you don't run into any issues. And if we've tested the connection, it's connection tested successfully. Now, we have that same token, right? Now we can do that for the compliments, for the complaints, and for the feedback. So let's find that here. Here's our n8n feedback token. And same for the feature request token. Now for Slack, it's pretty simple. You just need to add a Slack account here and to a specific channel. In this case, we're going to just add it to general. So it's just connecting up to any Slack you want here. And you're either putting it in a channel or you're sending it to a specific user. And essentially what that's doing is that's sending the feedback automatically. Same thing for here, channel, general, simple text right there. Now that will hopefully function correctly. So let's double check here and let's test it out live, because a lot of people, they show these models that are already perfect. And sometimes there's issues. There's bound to be issues when you build automations like this. Things will go wrong. So let's test it out here. Let's see how it functions. So it should pop up with the name, email, and feedback. So in this case, I'm going to say Antonio, email is CEO at Solvent Life, and the feedback. So what the feedback here will do, this agent right here, this AI agent, will classify it, whether it's asking for feedback, whether it's a compliment, whether it's a complaint, or whether it is a feature request for your specific use case. So in this case, let's go ahead and write a compliment. And let's submit that. So when we've submitted it, it's going to go ahead and put the switch here. It's going to go up to the merge and then the complement. So now there's an issue here. So why is there an issue? We need to figure out why it's not functioning here. So let's check. Is it from n8n feedback? There it is. From compliments, bang. So you can see there was an issue with our credentials because we didn't set the base and we didn't set the table here. So now we need to map it manually. So in this case, we're grabbing the name of the person. So the name of the person, the email of the person, in this case, my email, and then the feedback. Right? So there you go. So I think Solvent GPT is great. Thank you so much. Now, when we test the step, bang, node successfully created here. So we've solved that issue. And then that would automatically then send it to Slack. Now let's do that for the next one. So we obviously made a mistake here, n8n feedback. And this is complaints, right? Not compliments. So you can see the reason we made this here in tabs is that we can use the same format, the same Airtable feedback node, authorization requests, with these different tabs. That's all you're doing here, is you're just sorting which one is which is why it's important for you to label your things here. So compliments, complaints, and then feature request. And you can see that it's written it here as well. You can see Antonio, CEO, I think your Solvent GPT is great, right? So complaint here Just double check complaints. Yep. And then let's go ahead and test the step manually. So we need to write a complaint here to test it out. So let's test the workflow. Let's just say James Mark. Email is jamesmark@gmail.com. I think your product does not work. Help. So let's go ahead and see. So it's routed it successfully. So it's realized that that is a complaint, and it's gone ahead and recorded the record here automatically. So it's grabbed the name, the email, which should be here. So this is incorrect. This says name here. We need to take this away. This should be the email. There we go. And then the feedback. I think your product does not work. Now we need to set up our Gmail here as well. So now let's test this step one more time. Invalid email address. Okay. So the reason it didn't do that was because it grabbed an email here. So now we need to test this step again. And we should see that the email comes up as jamesmark@gmail.com. Now, when it goes to the Gmail and we test this step, it should set it off correctly. So there you go. So it grabbed jamesmark@gmail.com and it sent off that email. Let's quickly check in our Gmail here to see if it was actually sent automatically. So we set this up in a way with a credential. So it's just my email here, my work email. And that would automatically send off a specific message back to the user. So in this case, this is a random user, right? So this email doesn't exactly exist. But you can say, hello, James Mark. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. We take all complaints very seriously and we'll look into this for you. So what it's done is it's automatically sent this off without me having to go in and do so automatically. Now we can go ahead and take the n8n option away here just by clicking append n8n attribution. We'll take that off so it looks a bit more professional. And you can also make this into a fully fledged email here so that it's nice and secure. So let's just go to ChatGPT, say, write an email to clients who have complaints about our product and assure that they will be rectified. So it's writing that out for me. So now all I need to do is just take this away. So I can say hello, whatever first name. In this case, it's saying James Mark. And I'll pop in my email here, my ChatGPT text here, which is saying, thank you for reaching out, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll add @legal or CEO at solvent.life. We can add this last part. So it looks really nice. We truly value your trust in Solvent Industries and appreciate the opportunity to improve your overall experience. And then you can even say best regards, Solvent Industries. So now that should send a perfectly formatted email for any complaints that we have in this session right here. And that should do that pretty quickly. So in this case, now we'll do it for the feature request. Let's also test out if that feature request is working. So you can see here, we haven't done this correctly. So feature request, and we'll have to test this step. So let's test it again. Let's say Antonio. Let's just say email is test@solvent.live. And the feedback is saying, I think you should add a feature where you can like comments. Let's test it out. So you can see it's routed it successfully in our switch here. So our switch has a JSON output, and it'll grab it based off of what the AI agent deems is accurate or valid in this case. So in this case, it's stating that it is a feature request and therefore goes to that feature request in Airtable. It's successfully grabbed the name, the email, and the feedback, and then it's populated that automatically and it's sent it off to a Slack message as well. So if you check Slack now, we'll see if it's set it off here. So you can see in Slack here that the message has been automatically sent. So let's see here. There we go. Scroll down. You can see, I think that you should add a feature where you can like comments, right? So it's sent it off to my team. So you can do this in a way where your team can automatically see this, and it's fantastic. They'll be like, okay, great. We need to do that. We need to rectify that feature here. So now we know that this entire system is functioning correctly, and it's also blazingly quick because of the Grok model. So let's test it one more time as well to show you this email functionality, and then we can just turn it on here by making it active. But essentially, we'll test the workflow one more time. Let's put in a complaint because we want to make sure that this complaint is being sent off correctly. So we'll say Antonio Nikitis, email is ceo@solvent.life. Any feedback? I think the product needs a lot of work. So I think you should make some adjustments. I don't like it. So we'll go ahead and say, we'll test it out here and we'll see how quick it is. So it's already immediately going there and it's sent off the email. So within a split second of the user setting up a form, it's sent off that email. So let's go to sent here and we can see there it is. Now, obviously it's not formatted correctly. We can format as well, but it's taken off that n8n attribution. But you can see here it sent that email automatically and very, very, very quickly. It's a way for you to essentially get feedback very quickly and automate that overall process. So I think it's a very, very cool thing. Once again, you can find that information in the description and test it out for yourself and make sure to get your Airtable working correctly. So you can see here, we've got it working automatically. It's populating it with the data. So you can see, I think your product does not work. Help, I think it needs work and I don't like it. You should make some adjustments. It's all being popped out here. And also for the future request, I think you should add a feature, blah, blah, blah. So you can grab a lot of information from your clients this way and for your users. Let's say you're making an application like myself. We're building an investment application for SEC investing here in the United States. And I will use this system to get some genuine feedback from my users automatically, and it could automatically find what's wrong with it. So it's a great way to field test your applications, see what's right with it, see what's wrong with it, and then make those adjustments in real time. So it's a very useful overall tool for you to use in your businesses. And if this is something that adds value to your business, let me know. Anyways, that's going to be pretty much it for me today. And let me know if this helped you and helped you clarify some things about how Airtable works, how does it set it up correctly, and how to get everything working effectively. Thanks again, guys. Ciao.